What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be discussing a Bleacher Report article about Lonzo Ball right after his announcement of a knee surgery. I guess they came out with an article discussing whether or not the Chicago Bulls should make a panic trade in relation to Lonzo Ball, I guess to bring more guard help in relation to that point guard position. Now, ultimately, this is a Bleacher Report article, and I haven't necessarily read the entire article, so I don't necessarily know their answer, but I think many Bulls fans would be able to formulate their own answer based on their own perception of how this team looks at the moment and where we need to be in terms of our regular season and everything like that. So I'll give my opinion on it, and of course about Lonzo Ball and everything of that nature. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not you think we should make a panic trade about Lonzo Ball. Now, you got to be very much aware that this is a mainstream media reporter, or I guess article outlet, that is discussing Lonzo Ball and a panic trade. They're not necessarily Chicago Bulls fans. They don't probably even know that much about the Chicago Bulls compared to what the fans and Bulls journalists and analysts, everything of that nature, would know. So I'm going to discuss my opinion on this first and foremost, just based on the title alone, because as I've said before, I haven't read the actual article, and I do feel like if I really did open that article, the answer to that question would be no, the Chicago Bulls should not make a panic trade. And that's honestly my opinion, and that's why I'm going to stick with that opinion as well. I do not think the Chicago Bulls should be looking to make a panic trade to get more help from the guard position. We've got too many guards already to be focusing on getting more guard help. The only way that I think the Chicago Bulls should be pursuing this season is if they want to get another guard into this team, they have to be willing to sacrifice a guard on this team. That's the only really way I could see us going for another guard. For an example, if we waive Tony Bradley as a center option to go and sign another guard, in my opinion, that is just not going to be the right balance for this team. We already have balancing issues in my eyes. The depth is a little bit stronger, but we have a hefty amount of guards. Adding another one into this team is just not worth it, in my opinion. So I don't think the Bulls should be panicking over this situation, and as a matter of fact, I think the Bulls came into this season very well prepared for this outcome. Now, we could talk about the Bulls not necessarily knowing what they're doing. Maybe the surgery for Lonzo Ball should have come earlier. You put that blame on the Bulls, but in my opinion, the Bulls were preparing for this, because at the end of the day, the fear of the unknown, the Bulls had to be ready for that. The Bulls had to be ready at all stages, just in case of the situation like this. And to be fair, the Bulls front office recently has been getting a lot of stick from free agency, luxury tax, and everything of that nature. And honestly, it's not me to say whether that's right or wrong. I have my own opinions, and I'll state my own opinions every time someone asks me of those opinions. But they came prepared to make sure that if Lonzo Ball was not ready, they at least had some element of backup ready to play at that point guard position. As I said in the last video, and as I said in this video, I personally think Goran Dragic, the signing of Goran Dragic, has gotten significantly more important by the day. The fact of the matter is, this Lonzo Ball situation has come. We know now what to expect. We've seen it firsthand, and we're ready for that now. And the Bulls were ready from that from the beginning. So I've got to give credit to the Bulls for signing Goran Dragic, and I guess preparation of what was going to come. But all things considered, the Bulls should not be panicking right now. And I said that a couple weeks ago as well, talking about Lonzo Ball. The Bulls should not be panicking about this regular season, because we do know at some stage, Lonzo Ball will come back on this team. I 100% believe that in my heart, whether that's December, January, maybe it's coming back in the playoffs and he misses a whole regular season. But I truly believe Lonzo Ball will have some sort of factor into this season. And if he doesn't, then that is going to be very, very worrying on many different scales, and maybe the Bulls will have to make some sort of panic trade or some sort of decision about Lonzo Ball and about the Chicago Bulls' future. That's obviously a big discussion, but as of right now, at this point, the Bulls are prepared for this. The Bulls became prepared for this, and I don't think it's necessary to be looking beyond what's going to happen at the start of the season, because we know Lonzo Ball, at least we expect Lonzo Ball to be back in some way, sort of fashion this upcoming season. So all things considered, in that retrospect, I think the Chicago Bulls are just fine. Goran Dragic will be able to do his job, and I think he might be able to get a little bit of that experience factor into that point guard position, whether he's starting or coming off of the bench, or even if he's even playing throughout the course of the early parts of the season. I think Ayo Dosunmu should start, but even if he doesn't start, I think he's another guy with another year under his belt and another year full of confidence. He'll be able to take another leap, and obviously Caruso will just be doing what Alex Caruso does. I think we have more than enough, I guess, power in the point guard position to at least make it by until Lonzo Ball is able to come back and make that position his own once again. We all know Lonzo Ball makes this team better. We all know Lonzo Ball is going to be one of the X factors of this team. But as of right now, I don't think the Bulls should be panic trading anybody. We should only be making trades that make sense for the Chicago Bulls right now. We shouldn't be trading a center for another point guard. That doesn't make sense. We shouldn't be trading, I guess, a really good valuable asset for someone that's mediocre, but because he's a point guard, he fits. That doesn't make sense. And it has to be a guard that makes sense as well. It can't just be any random guard that won't fit the profile that we're looking for either. So no panic trades in my opinion. I think the Bulls are fine where they are. And I'm sure that's the answer the Bleacher Report has probably said, but I don't know. And I'm not going to discredit them again, because they have said some really outrageous stuff. I'm not going to discredit them again without actually knowing. I didn't want to read the article, to be honest, and I'm not going to read the article. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping that's the answer. And if it's not the answer, well then, I guess we'll leave it up to the Bulls fans in the comment section and across the world to make their own opinions on that. I do have another video coming out, but it won't be today, ladies and gentlemen. The ESPN have released their top 100 players. I believe they've released the majority of the players up until 5th till 1st. And the reason why I'm not going to make that video out public straight away because I want to see who's 5th to 1st, because I do have some specific things that I'm going to put into that video just to give you an indication of, I guess, where I'm going with this. As of right now, and I'm pretty sure it's going to remain this way because DeMar DeRozan was our best player last year, there are 4 Bulls players in the top 100, which I think is a pretty good standing, but there is more that I wanted to discuss in relation to the ESPN top 100. So we'll leave it until everything comes out and we have the full list available. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.